Welcome, everybody, to episode 19 of Talks for the People. I'm your host, Alan. We've got a lot going on tonight, but before we get to that, how y'all doing tonight?
Doing well, doing well. Glad to be here.
Oh, very good, very good. Excellent day. Weather's getting beautiful. For us small people, it's getting warmer. It's nice.
Yes.
For other people, it sucks balls because it's getting hot and sweating.
Hey.
Is that a fat joke?
No, it's a peeper bigger than me joke.
Peeper bigger than you?
Peeper, jeepers, peepers.
All right, everybody. Tonight on the show, Steven's going to try and impress us with his impressions. Me and Cody are going to give you... Me and Cody are going to try and give you a little review on Bates Motel. There will be some spoilers, but the show has been off the air for about 5 years now, so if you're spoiled, that's on you. Don't listen to that part. There are timestamps below. You can skip over it. We are going to discuss live music. Cody's already had one experience he's going to tell us about, and all three of us are going to get to experience some live music together. People, it's coming back. Then we discuss what's more realistic, or what's more likely to happen, the Hunger Games or the Purge. Also coming up right after Burns My Biscuits, we got some drinking stories. Those are always fun. But speaking of Burns My Biscuits, what y'all got going on?
I got two.
Let's go.
I've had a really good week since the last podcast, so I've got two for us this week. So one of them is kind of funny. Was visiting with my parents the other night, and we got to talking about candy bars, and we said, you know, I think the question, we was playing Loaded Questions, I think was the name of the game. And anyway, I think the question was, what is your favorite candy bar? And my dad made the comment while we was playing that he used to really enjoy Butterfingers, but he had to test a lot of them to see what was a good one. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, you go in and you break them, and till you find just the right one, and then you get it." I'm like, "Wait a minute! When I go in, I'm trying to find one that's not broke. I'm like, I'll go through the whole box trying to find one that's not broke, and you go in and you're breaking all of them. That burns my biscuits."
So your dad's going in there breaking all the Butterfingers.
Yes.
Dang.
Like, no, that's madness.
That's awesome.
I guess there's a method to that, but I couldn't believe it because he's like my arch nemesis because I'm trying to find one that's not broke, and they always seem to be broken half.
Well, you got to find
going in there breaking them on purpose.
You got to find that perfect match of crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery.
Hey, he's got a point.
Hey, I'm just lucky to find one that's whole. The other one I had was on communication. You know, whether it's in life, your home life, your marriage, your job, your whatever you're into or going through, communication is really important. And I feel like as a whole, communication just sucks. And it's the root of a lot of issues in anything.
Absolutely.
You do. And so and I'm not the best at it either by any means, but it's really easy to talk to people.
Communicating the call-outs. I said, unless we're playing Call of Duty, you are great at communicating the call-outs.
That's because I'm always getting killed, and I'm like, "Hey, he's coming." It never fails. I'm in the same area with y'all, and I'm watching one direction, or I'm watching a different direction, and I'm like, "All right, I got the right side. They're coming in the right side." But yeah, so communication is really important, and um, I feel like that's also the downfall of a lot of situations, and that burns my biscuits because it's really easy to talk to people, like, and now you could text, you can email, you don't have to talk to anybody anymore. You can still communicate and not speak.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always this one. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
the one finger salute.
that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember I was getting my oil changed several years ago, and my horn wasn't working, and I went to one of those quick lube places, and so they're doing they're standing in front of my truck, and he's like, dude, left blinker, right blinker, brights, he's like, give me your horn. I was like, I've stuck my head out the window. It doesn't work. And he said, watch the finger.
Yeah, I love that stick. I saw that sticker on a car once, and I almost went home and bought it. It's just a sticker that says "horn broken. Watch for finger."
That's really all I got this week.
Well, I have one, and actually, me and Cody experienced this together. So I like to, be friendly with everybody. So every Friday I go out and I get food for a group of people, anybody who wants food, because we really have enough time to get food and then get back to work on time. So I like to go out and get it and bring it back for everybody. Anyways, so me and Cody go get the food, and we have a huge order. So we wanted to step to the side, open it all up, make sure it's all there, because at the same time, it doesn't do any good to go get food if somebody's not getting food. So we double check it off the list, make sure we get it all. Well, what really burns my biscuits this week is that rude customers. And I'm sure anybody in the customer service industry can understand it, whether you're just doing voice calls or whether you're a cashier at Chick-fil-A or whether you sell shoes at Journeys or whatever it may be. But there's always that rude customer. And what this guy did, it's different if I walk into a store and there's an employee kind of goofing off, texting on their phone, talking with another employee, whatever. But if I see someone working and they are handling with another customer, I sit there patiently and wait for them to be done. Even if the other customer has a mouthful to say, I let them be done. Well, this guy, we're sitting there trying to make sure everything is there, and the employee at Popeyes was actually gracious enough to sit there and be like, all right, well, yep, we got that. Okay, we got that, and was helping us out. And the customer standing at the cashier is like, hey, I'm trying to order, and he was being rude. And we're like, yo, dude, you can see the lady's busy. You are watching her help us. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Right? So, I mean, it's like I said, it would have been totally different if the employee was sitting there like, yeah, I'll be with you in a second. But no, she was standing right in front of us, helping us check off, make sure we had everything. And the guy was sitting there like, yo, huh? I'm more important. I mean, me and Cody were fine with her going to help, but she was doing the right thing and saying, y'all were handled first. Let me make sure y'all are taken care of before I move to the next. I can appreciate that.
I mean,
and we spent a lot of money in there.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we did.
What did we do? We had a $90 order. I mean,
but yeah, so that it really burns my biscuits when somebody can see that someone in the customer service industry is doing work, and they want to like, hey, my life is more important than what you're doing right now. Come help me. I want to. Bro, you're about to eat that chicken sandwich through a straw. You don't stop it,
Hey, I tell you what, if you want to see the true side of people, see them in a restaurant when it deals with their food.
oh,
You'll
absolutely.
see their true colors and a heartbeat.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's what burns my biscuits this week.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and move on to our next thing. It's always fun. We're going to tell y'all some drinking stories and how those went. Who wants to kick things off? I've actually got one, but I'll let one of y'all go first.
I guess I'll start off. I'll let one of y'all be the grand finale. My one blackout event. I was a fresh 22, and of course, once you get past 21, the lucky 21, you feel you can consume anything and be fine because you've hit that 1 year of just pounding down from waiting all that time.
Yeah,
I'm a
21 was the year.
yeah. The year you could legally do it. Anyways, so I currently live in Fort Walton Beach, which is pretty much Destin, Pensacola, right in the middle kind of thing. Um, and I am moving back to Alabama, and the people that were down there were sad I was leaving. They were like, you know what, we're gonna throw you a shindig to go off with. I was like, man, that sounds fantastic. So the Friday before I left, the Friday before my last week, they decided they were gonna make a whole day out of it. So they gave me the day off of work, and me and one other person, or two other people, sat in our um, townhome, and we all got a case of beer each, and we drank our own case of beer. And I'm not talking a 6-pack, but of course it was Coors Light, so it probably was worth a 6-pack. But anyways, so we all get 24 packs, and we start at like 9 a.m. We pound them down, and there's just beer. So like 1 an hour, no big deal. 2 an hour, we're relaxing. Um, and so we go out and we go to a place called Fight Town. It's actually called Night Town, but everybody called it Fight Town because people got scrappy there. And we got there, and they wanted to start it off fun, so they gave me a couple buttery nipples. Taste like butterscotch. If you've never had them, they're delicious. And a couple of things called Star Nights, which are kind of cinnamony, really good too. And then we moved on from there, and we went to the next place. The next place we went to, since they wanted to show me a good offing, they said, you know what, we're gonna go to a go-go dancer club, no nudity, no nudity. But it was a go-go dancer club where they had dancers, and they said in order to come in here, you have to be a VIP. So in order to do that, we had to buy a bottle. So we ended up buying like $150 bottle of Grey Goose. So they gave us the orange juice, they gave us the Grey Goose. We made screwdrivers, and since I drank a case of beer already and I've had a couple shots in me, I was feeling frisky. So we got up there, and I poured me a screwdriver, and I'm sipping on it. And about 20 minutes later, me and one of the other guys go up, and we're pouring another one. And I'm a little blitzed at this time. So I look at him and was like, I better finish mine faster than you. And I turn the screwdriver up, and he's sitting there like, I bet you will. Knowing I was in trouble. Knowing it. So I down this we get done, and because I was to that limit and I started doing competitive drinking, I probably finished half that bottle, if not, maybe a third. Let me not get too crazy, but a third of that handle of Grey Goose, like this freaking tall, a third of it, all mine. I was pounding it in. That was crazy. So we decide, all right, night's ending. Let's go get some food. So we go to Whataburger. If you don't have a Whataburger around you, that is like the equivalent of Waffle House in Florida. To me, it was, because Whataburger was boss after drinking that night. Anyways, we get out there, and of course, being young and dumb, I wanted to play it strong. So they're like, "Man, you good to drive?" I'm like, "Yeah, I should be good." They're like, "How about this? We're gonna walk to the Whataburger and walk back, and then if you still feel you're good, we'll let you drive," because it was my car. So we walk into Whataburger, and me, out of the three of us, two of us had to walk like a pyramid, leaning up against each other for like a block. And it was so bad that if one of us stepped too soon or too late, we both fell. we both fell, and it happened like 3 times. So we are struggling to walk standing straight up at this point in time. We get to Whataburger, we eat, we get done, and the very last part of the night that I remember is that we're leaving Whataburger. I feel a little bit better. I can walk a straight line at least. So we get to my car, and they're like, "So you're good?" And I'm standing with the driver's side door open with my keys in my hand. I'm like, Yeah, I'm good. I was in the middle of saying, yeah, I'm good, and it just everywhere. I'm like, I'm not good to drive. You can drive. So I give the keys to somebody else. I'm sitting in the back seat without my seatbelt on like an idiot. Between both front seats, and it's like a 20-minute drive home. And the last thing I remember is sitting there looking at the road, and I blacked out, which is crazy because I have no idea how I got upstairs in the bed. And they were both like, I didn't carry you. So I'm like, I don't remember this. How did I do it? But that's my one just absolutely, and I've never been that way again. It's the only time it ever happened. I mean, I could say it was fun. The next day was absolutely freaking miserable, but I can say I can put it on my list of crap that I've done.
I've got two quick ones that I can tell. I can tell quick versions. Mom, if you're listening, I don't know how much you know of these two stories. I apologize in advance. First one, of course, we all know we were drinking before we were 21. But the first night I turned 21, I went to downtown Birmingham, 5 Points South. There was a club called Bell Bottoms who on Wednesday night had Jello wrestling. So I was going to watch Jello wrestling. I had been to the Jello wrestling before because it was 18 and up for Jello wrestling, 21, of course, to drink. But I went to watch the Jello wrestling, but I'm like, I'm 21 now, so I'll walk in the door. I beeline for the bar. I'm like, I want 2 shots of Jaeger and a beer. And so I start my night with
$35.
I start my night with 2 shots of Jaeger and a beer. And then I just keep going. I move on to Red Bull and vodka. So there's my number one problem. I've already mixed brown and clear liquor. And then have like 2 more Red Bull and vodkas, another beer. Somehow I eventually have to go piss. I've been holding it in because I'm watching the Jello wrestling, but I eventually have to go piss. So I make my way to the bathroom, and all I can remember is I went in the stall. I go in there, I unzip my pants, and apparently at some point between going to piss and actually pissing, I'm standing up and I just and I pass out. I'm standing up, head against the wall in the bathroom. Now keep in mind, like I'd only been there like hour and a half, 2 hours, and I got there before the Jello wrestling started, and that started at like 8 or 9 o'clock. And so next thing I hear is, hey, you in there? Hold on, I'm taking a shit. And I turned around. I stood up off the wall, turned around, pulled my pants down, and sat on the toilet. I barely know where I'm at. And they're like, oh, you're taking a shit, huh? I'm like, yeah, I'm taking a shit. And they're like, okay, whatever. And so I wait what I feel like is 5-10 minutes. Apparently it was only like 30 seconds. So I pull my pants up and go to open the door, and they're there. They grab me right away. And as soon as they grab me, I go to puke, and I puke all over their bathroom floor. They drag me out of the bathroom. I promise there's like 20 people left in the bar. It was over. It was closed. Like Jello wrestling ended like an hour ago. I was passed out in that bathroom for like 2 hours. And then these motherfuckers just threw me out the front door. Didn't call a cab, nothing. So I'm like, well, gotta go home. Kids, don't drive drunk. It's very stupid. I should not be alive. So that was the night I turned 21. Second story is my infamous, and there are people that can back this up. Nobody is going to believe me. There are people that can back up this story. I know they can back up this story because that's how I heard this story. See, bell bottoms was me passing out. This story is me blacking out. So it was a friend's birthday, and I was going to hang out with my band and some buddies, and we were going to go down to Formaggio's in Southside again. It was it was a Thursday night, Friday night. Anyway, it was pitcher night, like $5 pitchers at Formaggio's. So I'm like, well, I'm going to get a jump start on the night. So I stop at the gas station right by my house, and I buy a bottle of Mad Dog 2020. Lesson 2, people, don't buy Mad Dog 2020. But I drank this whole bottle of Mad Dog 2020 on the 20-minute drive from my house to Southside. So keep in mind, don't know how much experience y'all got, but if you do 100% of your drinking while you're sitting down and then quickly stand up, it hits you. So I'm walking in Formaggio's and I'm already feeling good. I then proceed to drink an entire pitcher by myself because that's what we did. We had whole pitchers of beer. Like everybody bought their own pitcher. So we're all hanging out at Formaggio's. Then we decided it's time to go back to my friend's apartment. So we followed her over to her apartment, which was only 5 minutes from Formaggio's. But once again, kids, don't drive drunk. 5 minutes is too far. We get back to her apartment, and then we break open the Jaeger, and I've got Aftershock, and God knows what else we were drinking. Anyway, we all end up in the front yard of the apartment complex, and this is where I lose track of what happened that night. So this is where somebody has now taken over this story, and I'm relaying the message. So they're over here talking, and they're like, "Hey, where's Alan at?" No, he's over there. He's laying on the ground by the sidewalk. So they go back to talking. A few minutes later, they look over trying to check on me. They're like, "Hey, where'd Alan go?" They're like, "What do you mean? He's not there. Where's Alan?" So they all start turning around looking for me. I'm over here on the other side of the yard by a tree, laying on the ground, still passed out. Keep in mind, nobody saw me move from point A to point B. This happens a second time. Where'd Alan go? I'm now over here. Nobody saw me move. They're all out there talking. They're smoking, like chit-chatting out in the front yard. And this happened within a matter of 15 minutes. Nobody saw me move. So this is the night that became known as the night Alan teleported. But that's all I got. Kids, don't drive drunk.
So that's why you didn't want that superpower last week. You already have it.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah. Uh-oh. We just lost Steven. We will see if he joins back. You still with me, Cody?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. While we are waiting, you want to go ahead and tell us your drinking story?
So,
while we wait on him to get back?
I love you. Please don't judge me. Y'all were kids once too. So mine started pretty early, and I remember I stayed at a friend's house one night, and we snuck out of his house and was gonna go roll this guy's yard that lived probably 3 or 4 miles up the road from his house. Was gonna go roll it. So we got this backpack. We both have backpacks, and they're both stuffed full of toilet paper. We must have brought a whole case, and we snuck we snuck out of his house, and we're walking up the road, and we get maybe 2 miles, mile and a half, 2 miles up the road, and we're going by these houses, and there's a big cooler outside by the garage door on one of these houses, and we're like, We go over there, open it up. It is chock full of ice cold beer.
Yeah.
We're like, The next thing I know, we are holding the toilet paper, and the bags are full of beer. Well, so we walk another couple miles till we get to the guy's house. By the time we get there, I mean, we are hammered. I mean, we're
Oh,
like 12, 13. I mean, so no, that's probably 2 beers to 12, 13
right.
something. Well, we're hammered, and we're trying to roll this guy's yard. It is the funniest damn thing. I wish I could be a fly on the wall and go back and watch that, because it was raining a little bit too, and people were people were driving up the road, and we would, like, go jump in the ditch, and the ditch is full of water, and we're, like, soaked, and we're hiding behind bushes, and, uh, it was a pretty funny night. Um, oh, and then their dogs heard us and chased us down the road. We're 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 way down, so we're throwing beer out of the backpacks, trying to lighten our load. It looks like something out of a movie.
Could see you running, just
Well, so
trying
we
to.
also my buddy also had the bright idea to go in the cow pasture on the way back and look for shrooms since it rained. And all we did was get cow shit all over us. We didn't find anything.
That sucks.
Let's see, another one I can remember is when I was in college, we had team bonding night, which meant the whole team would come up to our one dorm we had that was assigned to the golf team, and we would basically just drink the whole night. Well, so my senior year, we ended up having several team bonding nights. We had a little bit closer knit team, and we we started drinking in the dorm, and then we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and ate dinner and drank there. And then we were riding around Huntsville, and this guy loses his hat out the window, and it lands on an overpass on Memorial Parkway. And he's like, we're all hammered. He's like, I gotta get my hat. I have to have my hat. I'm like, fuck, okay. So we turn around and we're like parked on the on the parkway. We're getting out, and people are driving by, and it hits his hat, and it flops it up and flies over here. We're trying to get it. It's a wonder we didn't get killed.
Oh,
By the
good
time we get that
God.
hat back, it was covered in black tire and just dirt and oil. It was disgusting. He's like, I was like, "Now you got your damn hat." And he's like, "I love my hat." He couldn't even wear it anymore. Oh, that was so dumb.
All
And then
right.
the last one I can remember was last year. I was coming home from the bowling alley, and the last thing I remember. Well, so we have we drank a lot at the bowling alley, and and this particular night, um, we drank more than normal, and normally I don't do this. I've drank a lot before and never had this happen, but this is the only time I can remember ever blacking out. So I remember changing my shoes back into my tennis shoes to go home, and the next thing I remember is waking up the next morning, laying across my bed, like not with it like you normally lay, but across it
Right.
on top of the covers, like face down. And I don't remember going to the car. I don't remember driving home. I don't remember getting home. I don't remember putting my stuff in the house. I don't remember any of that. All I remember is looking down, changing my shoes, and then I wake up and it's time to go to work the next day. Like my alarm's going off. So that was pretty scary. So I've tried not to drink that much up there since then. But But that was just a weird night because it normally doesn't bother me like that, and it's not like we were drinking liquor; we were just drinking beer.
Right.
So I don't know if something
I've,
else happened that night or what, but maybe somebody gave me a roofie.
hey, I've had way too much beer before, but I've definitely had my wildest nights on liquor. I don't really touch that much liquor anymore. Very seldom. Also, I can still go for a Red Bull and vodka occasionally for old time's sake. And I like just liqueur, like amaretto on the rocks, just on like a chill sipping it. But I don't drink a lot of hard liquor anymore. More just a beer guy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, so I am thinking that I don't know when or if Steven will be back tonight. So here is my plan. Instead of trying to carry on with this, one of two things is going to happen. If you were watching this, there will either be a cut right here, and Steven will magically be back in frame.
Magic.
Or this week, we will have a part 1 and a part 2.
Well,
Audio listeners, I will tell you this. Audio listeners, you will only have a one part. And that is real easy for me to edit together in our podcast software. Audio listeners, this will be one episode, and any moment now, Steven will just be back, and you'll be saying, what the fuck happened? But video YouTube watchers, there will either be a hard cut here, or there will be a part 2. If this video is labeled part 1, there is a part 2 as well. They both probably popped up in your feed if you're subscribed. What you got to say, Cody, before we...
I was gonna say we could, since Steven hasn't watched Bates Motel, we could go ahead and do that review.
We could go ahead and knock out the Bates Motel review. Let me switch some things around right here, and we'll go ahead and we will go ahead and do the Bates Motel review, since Steven has not watched it, and we won't bore him with it. So, it took me a while to finish it. I watched it in several sessions. I'm talking like probably over a year and a half is how long I was totally watching the show on Netflix. But I enjoyed it. I liked it. What did you think of the setting? How it was a prequel set in modern day? How long did it take you to get acclimated to that?
Not long. I mean, it threw me for a loop for the first few episodes, and then I just kind of took it for what it was. I thought it was good as well.
Steven is back.
I don't know what happened.
Here he is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Well, Steven, you're good. We just swapped some things up. We're going over our Bates Motel review, and then we'll jump right back in.
Is that all I missed?
That's what you missed, Steve. You missed Cody's drinking stories that you'll be able to listen to later.
That's right.
Correct.
You have to be one of
I'll
our
catch you on
listeners.
the flip side. You know what? We'll make our own drinking stories. I'm sorry. Continue with your review.
No, I was just saying that I really enjoyed it, and I as well took probably a year to year and a half to watch it. It's 5 seasons, like 10 episodes a season, so it's not a bad watch. I mean, you can binge it in a couple of days. Easy.
Right. Now, at this point, if you're hoping you can go watch it, it has been removed from Netflix at this point. It left on February 20th, I believe it was. So me and Cody were both realized that it was about to leave, and we were both watching multiple episodes every day to go ahead and get caught up. It did take a weirder turn in that last season. I do like the way they portrayed Norman. Number one, the kid they got to play Norman. I cannot think of a better actor top of my head to play that part.
Yes, fantastic job.
That kid has always played those kind of roles very well. He's been in. He actually got his big start thanks to Johnny Depp. He got cast in what was that first movie with Johnny Depp? Because he did one movie with Johnny Depp, and then when Johnny Depp did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, he said, "I want this kid to be Charlie." Like, if was it Finding Neverland? Was that
I don't know
it?
if I ever saw that one.
Anyway, this kid got a personal endorsement from Johnny Depp, and that is what really kickstarted his career. He's now on a TV show called The Good Doctor.
Yep. Seen and heard
But
that one.
he's a very good actor. Very well fit for that part.
The whole cast I thought was done well. Bates, Norman's mother, Norma.
Yeah.
She did an excellent job, and the kind of a very main character that you never hear about if you haven't watched the show and you've only watched the movies. I don't think this girl's ever mentioned, or his brother for that matter. Is his brother mentioned?
I don't think his brother's ever mentioned in the movies. I don't think it's canon.
So he's got a brother, and then the girl that works is a friend of Norman's and works at the motel. She's actually the actress from Ready Player One.
Right. Yeah.
So she does a great job too. So, yeah, great show. It's a good prequel, but it's not really. It starts out as a prequel.
Right. I was about to say
its own series.
I was about to say this is where the biggest spoiler comes, and probably my one and only problem with the show. Like, you watch this whole thing and it doesn't take away. It's an excellent show. I would still recommend it to anybody, but plug your ears if you care about spoilers. The very, very last scene you see, the very last video shot of the series is Norman's tombstone. And Norman has died. So we watched 5 seasons under the premise that this was a prequel, even though it was set in modern day, but that this was a prequel because we all know the Norman Bates from Psycho, and we were watching this seeing what led Norman Bates to become the man that he is in Psycho, and then Bates Motel ends with Norman dying. That one caught me off guard and upset me a little bit about the series. But that aside, it's an excellent series. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it. I won't tell you how Norman died. He does die in the very end. Still watch the series. It's an excellent watch. Still recommend it to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Excellent show. Give it a try.
All right. Steven's back. We're going to move right along. Cody, what do you always have on you? What do you always have in your pockets?
Well, so I'm kind of boring. I like as little as possible. So I have my wallet, which is a money clip. I quit carrying a billfold years ago.
Me too.
And my keys, which is usually the bare minimum keys. I'm not the guy that's got 60 keys on his key ring. I got my car key, my house key, and my work key. And that's about it. And then my cell phone. That's all I ever have on me. But now in my car, I keep things in my car that I may need, like flashlights and stuff like that. But on me, I don't carry a pocket knife unless I know I'm going to need one. Like if we're going somewhere that I know I may need one, I'll bring one. I have several, but I just don't tote it. There's no room to tote it. I don't have any room in my pockets. When I go to eat, Steven saw this today. When I sit down, I take everything out of my pockets, put them on the table. I don't want anything in my pockets. I don't even like having pants on.
You should take them off when you eat too.
Oh, I do at home. I definitely.
I missed that today.
You should do it in public.
I should. I really should. But what brought it up was there's people that there's everybody. It's to each their own. But everybody's got their thing. Like my father-in-law, he always has a pocket knife. If I saw him without a pocket knife, he's an imposter. It's not him.
Right.
And usually has about 4 or 5 on him, to be honest with you. And I got another buddy that he doesn't go anywhere without chapstick. If he loses his chapstick, he will go back home and get it, or go get one from the store. He has to have chapstick. And just stuff like that. It's my dad. He always has those little soft candies. It looks like a peppermint, but it's kind of fat and it's soft, like you could chew it up right away.
It's almost like a taffy, but mint.
Yeah, so he always has like a pocket full of those. He's always eating those.
I grab those when I go over to my mother-in-law's house.
Those are super good.
My dad, he buys them by the bags full.
That my mother-in-law does too.
He has this little bucket. Well, I say little, it's a pretty good sized bucket that he keeps in the car with him. So he just reaches over, gets one, and eats it. He's always eating them, always. When he sits down at the table, he's got some there with him for when he gets done eating. It's the funniest thing. But so it's just funny what people always have on them, and for me it's boring because I'm like, I want as little as possible.
I'm boring as well. Wallet, which it's not a Ridge branded one, but the Ridge wallets they advertise now, the little hard wallets. It's a Ridge wallet, car keys, and cell phone. That's it.
So I always have a pocket knife. Always. It's just habit. I have it slid in my pocket. I got the little clip that hangs on the outside, so it's easy to grab. It doesn't slip at the very bottom of my pocket. But outside of that, I mean, it's your pretty basic spectacle, testicles, wallet, watch. If I got all those things, I'm ready to leave the house. That it's kind of like the saying I have: spectacles, testicles, wallet, watch. Yep, got it all. Let's ride.
So do y'all have the pat down before you leave the house?
Every time.
Oh, I do.
I'm like my right butt cheek. I'm like, yep, the old cash crop is that back there.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the wallet.
Somebody needs to teach my wife how to do the pat down, because I can't tell you how many times we've gotten to the end of the road before she'll say, "Oh, I forgot my phone." How did you even leave the house without it?
My wife, every time I go to my parents' house, she leaves something over there every time. Every time. It is the funniest thing. Like, it's usually not like the super important stuff, but it's like she brings a jacket over there, she'll leave it. If we brought food or something like that, she'll leave the bowls over there. She'll forget them, and it's become a comedy thing. We're like, before we leave, my parents like, "Did you get everything, B? Did you get all your stuff?"
Nice. Well, I'll say this in y'all's defense, my wife is the same way when it comes to carrying stuff. She carries so little that as soon as we get out the car, she hands me the car keys and her wallet and says, "Hey, put these in your pocket." she will never keep anything on her if I'm next to her. It's like, "Oh, no, he's got pockets. He's going to hold it." Doesn't bother me at all. But I think it's funny because, like, we'll hop out of the car and she'll have her wallet and she'll have her keys. She'll go, "Hey, put these in your pocket." So she like y'all, if she can go without carrying anything, she'll do it. And the only reason I think she carries her wallet is because if we go sit down at a restaurant and she wants a margarita or something, she's got to have her ID. And unfortunately, she can't, like, tattoo her driver's license on her arm and be like, "I'm ready to drink."
That would be awesome.
But yeah, she keeps it real simple, just like y'all. I mean, I'd like to think I'm pretty simple too. Just I'm not a big chapstick person or anything like that, but I keep my my pocket knife in there, and everything else is just I have to have it. I have to have my car keys. I have to have my wallet, that kind of thing.
So two more things. So one, that's the reason I really enjoy riding with other people. So I don't have to tote my car keys. It's one less thing in my pocket. Because I tote my keys, and my wallet in the same pocket because I don't want either one of them on my cell phone. So then all I have is a nice flat money clip in one pocket, my flat phone in the other pocket, and that's just paradise.
Ready
The
to
other
ride.
thing that I will bring with me from time to time, depending on where I'm going, is I will usually have a pick in my wallet, just in case I get somewhere that has a guitar.
But you
I'll have
didn't
a pick
have one.
if I want one.
But you didn't have a. You didn't have a pick with you the day you came over here.
I had one in the car. It was I could have went and got it.
Yes.
I didn't need a pick to play that song.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Steven likes to think that he is a connoisseur of voices. Me and Cody have heard most of these. We're going to see how good he can perform for all of you lovely people out there. Steven, show us these voices.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, of course, now that we're having this conversation, I'm probably going to butcher every single one of them. But I'm going to give them a go.
It would make it even funnier.
I would like to hear in the comments if, I could be the next Robin Williams, or, hey, man, you go ahead and hop out of the trash can and find something new to do because that was not worth it. Okay? I want the brutal honesty. Drop it down in the comments. Is it worth ever doing them again just to be funny, or is it like, no, stay away from them?
Hey, I've already done that for him today.
Accurate. You're like, yeah, don't do that one.
Yeah, he did one in the car on the way back for lunch, and I was like, yeah, don't do that one.
Yeah, stay away from that one. So I think it's funny to repeat some of them. Like the classic. I think I even did it last episode. The classic Peter Griffin laugh. Hey, Lord. That's a fun one that occasionally somebody cracks a joke and you're like, yeah. So I love the Peter Griffin laugh. I can do that pretty well. The next one is it's me, Mario. Yeah! From the classic Mario games, of course. You occasionally hear the Mario crack that out. It's my brother Luigi. So I like that one. And of course, everybody knows Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Stupid fat hobbit says you ruins it. Oh. And if you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, shame on you. That's from the scene where the hobbits are talking about cooking second breakfast and having a stew, and Gollum is like, "What's a stew?" And they're like, "Oh, you mash your potatoes up and all that, and you throw it in there." He's like, "It ruins it," and he's just so upset. The next one is Lola from Big Mouth. If you haven't seen it, it's an extremely raunchy show, kind of like raunchier than Family Guy and Futurama, raunchier than Rick and Morty, but it's about preteens growing into puberty, and they got hormone monsters and all this other stuff. There's a girl on the show that you can tell she's in the middle of hitting puberty, so her voice is all cracky and just it's cringy to listen to. But her name is Lola, and she speaks like every time she talks, she's like, "Oh my God, Andrew depends me." She's got this super whine that is so hard to listen to, but it's so because every time she talks to one of the guys, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so hot today," and it's like, oh. But that was her Lola's voice. And then I need to say this before I do it, in case specific people watch, but it is an Asian accent.
Oh God!
Right? And,
this is the end of our show.
So I used to do this growing up, doing prank phone calls. So anytime a solicitor would call, I would use this voice, or anytime I'd reach that number and be like, well, I don't know who that is. So they're getting the Me So Horny hotline. So I would have somebody call and I said, "Oh, thank you for calling the honey hotline. How may I help you? Sucky, sucky, $5. Oh, sucky, sucky, $10. And for $15, anything you want. What can I get for you? And I, no joke, have done that before. And the Arab guy on the other end of the phone trying to scam me laughed. He thought was excellent. Probably after scamming so much, he was getting bored. So I spiced up his day with that one. And then this is probably the worst one of them. But occasionally I'll do like Frenchy kind of stuff, like I'm contre Pierre, and I'll do things like that. So that was my little French going on there. Like I said, I do them for fun, but I know some of them are like, oh God, no. Don't. So leave in the comments how you felt about those. Like I said, if they trash, tell me they trash. Be like, hey man, see this picture? That was the accent. It was terrible.
All right. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Cody got an early taste last weekend. In 2 months, all three of us are going to get a taste. And y'all, I seriously might nut when that first chord is hit.
Hopefully
because y'all, people that don't know me, you have to realize I go on a slow year. I go see major label artist concerts 6 to 10 times a year. And that's on a slow year. And that's not counting cover bands and lesser known bands and stuff like that. And we went through all of 2020, the horrendous hell that 2020 brought upon us. And I already had tickets for all 6 of those shows last year. Major shows. I'm talking Slipknot, Primus, Lamb of God, Megadeth. Like, I had tickets for these shows in this moment. Black Veil Brides. Had the tickets bought. And then 2020 was a fucking disaster. And that happened. But May 2nd, live music is returning to Birmingham, Alabama. And we are going to see Steel Panther at the awesome Avondale Brewery. Cody just knocked his mic. Steel Panther is coming to Avondale Brewery May 2nd. Outdoor venue. It is a socially distanced concert, but we're getting live music. And for those of you that don't know who Steel Panther is and you're a fan of the 80s style of metal, think Van Halen, Motley Crue, Poison. You like that style of music, but you want to laugh your ass off at some raunchy ass lyrics? Go listen to Steel Panther. They have such classic bangers as It Won't Suck Itself, 17 Girls in a Row, Asian Hooker, Glory Hole. I mean, and the best, Death to All But Metal. I'm so excited. We're getting to go see live music, and it's rock music May 2nd. I'm so happy. Cody, you got to go last weekend. What was it like to experience live music for the first time in over a year?
Hold on, wait. I need to backtrack just for half a second. Did you say butt metal?
Okay, Sarah Silverman. It's all Death to All But Metal.
Oh, dang it. I thought we were finna listen to some butt metal. I was excited.
Yeah, so there's a brewery here where I live, and it's Goat Island Brewery. And if you've never been, you should go. It's really, really, really good homemade brew, and they make wine and different things too. But they have people play almost every night, and the nights they don't have people playing, they have karaoke and or open mic night and stuff like that. But anyway, on Fridays and Saturdays they have some of the bigger local bands play, and one of my favorites around here is Round Two, and they played last Saturday. Saturday night, yeah, Saturday night, and gosh, it was so good to hear it again. We got Hey, I mean they're so good that you have to get there like an hour and a half early if you want to sit on the front row, which is what we
Right.
did. We got there about an hour and a half early, but it's so good. They play a lot of '70s rock and soft rock. Um, Eagles, Tom Petty, Pink Floyd, all the way to like uh, was the what is that? Who was it sings Amy? Uh, Pure Prairie League or something like that.
Do
Uh,
they do any of the
Doobie
up?
Brothers.
Do they
Hmm?
do any of the upbeat Tom Petty? Like, do they do like Running Down a Dream?
I haven't heard them do that one. They usually do Last Dance with Mary Jane, Breakdown. Um, they do another one too, but then they play. They do just about any song that's got 3 to 5 part harmony. All of them sing. It's really good.
Do they ever break out the Alabama?
Yeah, yeah, they
That
play some Alabama.
what's that one song I'm thinking about? I can't think of it, but the Eagles song. Do they do the There Are Stars?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Seven Bridges Road.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
they play that one every time.
There you go.
And their signature song that they do is "Comfortably Numb" by Pink Floyd. Of course, I'll let you listen to some of that, Alan.
Right, yeah.
They'll
He
play
was
it.
very good.
Yeah, and that guy wears it out on guitar. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. Just I was so happy to be back seeing live music, and of course, me, drunk a lot of beer. My wife had some wine and beer, and had a really good time. And I'm excited about seeing Steel Panthers um, on May 2nd. But we want to see you guys too. So if y'all come out, come say hey to us. And
Absolutely.
we got some things in the works that may have some T-shirts or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And anyway, we'll see you guys down there. There should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. If you're in the Birmingham area, let's make this concert sell out. Let everybody come see Steel Panther. You'll have a good time. Look, it's live music. You won't be able to understand the lyrics anyway. Come enjoy the music. It's if you like 80s rock, 80s metal, come see Steel Panther. They put on a fantastic show.
And I tell you what, if one of you viewers happen to go see it and y'all spot us and say something, I'll buy you a beer. The first one to come up to me will have a beer on us.
There you go.
I like it.
We like to meet the fans, so come see us, and if you do, I'll buy you a beer.
All right, everybody. We have been doing our best to keep these right at an hour. We're going to try and squeeze in this last little bit we've got today. We've got a question to discuss. Which is more likely to happen in real life? The Hunger Games or the Purge?
I personally feel that we would be more purgy than Hunger Gamesy. I feel that we would have to have a lot more destruction. Like I feel the Hunger Games would be after like a major world war. As of right now, we're not really at war or anything like that. So I feel more purgy. Like we're gonna have to set this out. Let's clean the anger out. Let's get rid of it and purge. I feel that would be more the speed if we were to go do some crazy nutbaggish stuff like that. I feel the purge would be more likely.
Here's the thing. I don't see it ever becoming official. I do think that is movie fiction. Even in our worst nightmares, I don't foresee a purge becoming a real like government mandated thing. But the way the world is headed, I can see it becoming a thing for real. I mean, the people doing it are going to have the cops after them all night, and there will be a lot of mass casualties if it ever happens. But I could see a purge taking place where there is just a large group of people that do not give a fuck. They're sick and tired of all of it, and and I'm talking both sides of the fence. We do not get political on this podcast. We're not going to get political on this podcast, but I can see a large subset of people on whichever side of the fence you sit on just saying, fuck it, I've had enough, and we're getting our way one way or the other. I could definitely see the purge happening.
Yeah, like you said, I don't really see us ever getting to either one. But if we do, I would hope it'd be a Hunger Games, because only 2 people get selected out of a district. So I like my chances of not getting selected.
Yeah,
It's
but
almost like
look,
winning the lottery, but opposite.
but let's be honest. If what's her name gets selected, crap, now.
J-Law.
Yeah, if J-Law does get selected in real life, I will definitely be like, I volunteer as tribute. I'll go with her. I mean, I'll fight alongside. I'll fight alongside J-Law. Look, you got to think she retained some of that bow and arrow knowledge, and I mean, who wouldn't want to spend some time around J-Law? I mean, come on. I mean, she Jennifer Lawrence.
Hey, I know this is a death experience, but I just wanted to be around you before I die.
She's like, we're not gonna sleep together, right? I mean, we're trying to survive. You're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
So 2 questions that I have regarding it. One, if we go to a Hunger Games thing, does each continent or each country separate their own districts and do their own thing, or does the whole planet do it? And is US the absolute top district that people are like, fuck, damn?
Look, let's be honest. Let's be 100% honest about this. If you're just choosing 2 people, America ain't winning the Hunger Games.
But that's the thing, though. America would be the top district for the sole fact that there's got to be some badass Marines are out there or something that's like, yo, I got this. Volunteers tribute. Chalk it down, brother. We coming home with this W. I just feel, if we, because in the top district in the movie, the top 2 for the top district were volunteers. They're like, nah, don't even draw names, bro. We got this. Right? So I feel America would be that country. Of course, you have your lards here, your lazy people that are just like, I won't do it. But you also have the people that are like, let's go! Woo!
Dip potato chip.
Yeah.
No, what brought this up was today me and Steven were on our way back from lunch. We were talking about, what if somebody had an insane amount of money and they bought an island and they turned it into a war zone, just like on Call of Duty. And then people could pay an insane amount of money to go in, and it's basically just like Warzone. I mean, you go in and you survive. You either go in and you win.
That would be awesome.
He was like,
this is never happening. This is never gonna happen. But it was just
bullshit. It's not. About. This will happen now. You have put this into the universe, and it's going to happen. Think if somebody discovered an island that was not owned by anybody, and they bought this island, or they came in, they took over this island, there would be no loss. They can do whatever the hell they want to with it.
That's true. You're right. That would be cool.
We know what Alex
doing. You're right. There wouldn't be any laws, but
no, I mean, I wouldn't last long. The only thing I've ever shot is a 22 long rifle. But I mean,
it'd be cool though. Like, he puts all these buildings out there, and he puts chests full.
But here's the thing.
Armor. Yeah, it would be cool all up until you watch it live, and you're like, "Oh God,
oh God!"
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Let's take the realness out of it. Think how much of a cash cow this could be. If somebody bought an island, set up Rebirth Island, because we can't go Warzone. That's fucking Verdansk. That's it's huge. But say somebody bought an island and say this eccentric man baby with billions of dollars did a 1-for-1 rebuilding of Rebirth Island, and you could go, like you said, whenever you want. It's a game that's constantly going on, but it's paintball or airsoft.
Oh,
But
dude,
it's
that
a
would be-
but it's a 1-for-1 recreation of the Rebirth Island Warzone map.
Bobby and that baby all together.
I would go. That would be. I would waste a whole week's vacation on that shit. I would go, and we would.
Yeah, no, you think I love Disney? Wait for something like that to happen. Yo, I'm fit to spend a week's worth of money playing paintball in Warzone. See me do the gulag, baby. I'm ready. Woo!
I mean, look, that would be a sound investment. They would make their money back so fast.
Right? Oh yeah. By the way, it's $5 for a canister of paintballs. I hope you have enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
but it
that
can be
would-
the same way. Like there's stuff hidden all over the place that you can get ammo, or when you drop somebody, you get their ammo. Like they have
Right.
to hand it to you or something before they leave.
and it's like you have stuff like clear rain suits that you can throw on as armor. Once you get hit, you have to take it off.
Yeah.
Boy, that would be so legit. Woo! Hey, look, somebody call Bill Gates on the phone. We have a multi-million-dollar idea.
I think it would be genius. All right, we're not gonna let this ramble on too long. We are gonna make this outro short and sweet. Do y'all have anything left to say today?
I got a few things before we get off. But the day this airs will be my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. So I want to tell you guys happy anniversary. I love y'all. I
Happy
don't know how y'all feel
anniversary.
with each other that long.
Mr. and Mrs. Calvert.
And then also this week, my niece has a birthday. She turns 12. So happy birthday, Amber. Me and Aunt B love you very much. And other than that, thanks guys for watching and for the support. Comment if you want to tell Steven to quit doing impressions. Let us know what you carry in your pockets, and let us know if you can make it to the concert. Come see us. Anything you want us to talk about, comment. We'd love to hear it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank y'all for watching. We're going to keep it up because we enjoy doing it. But, we would love to have more interaction with y'all. I mean, we would love for y'all to just be like, hey, talk about midgets, whatever. Bring something up, whatever you want us to talk about. Just bring it up. We will make a whole segment on it. We will get to the brass tacks of what we feel about it and all that. So just like, subscribe, share it. Tell your friends about us, and it's been a pleasure as always.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Y'all want to see Steven get mad real quick? Golden Flake won the chip thing 98%, 92% to 8%. And with that, we're signing off.